welcome back to the channel. Today we are reviewing Transformers, Age of the Primes,
Voyager
class. Yes, that's it. Prima Prime. That sounds like an echo.
Yeah, Prima Prime. Yeah, it does. He's primering a primer. Yeah, this is one of the 13. We've already looked at Megatronus, so this is our technically third/fourth Prime that we own because we also have Alpha Trion. But yeah, so anyway, in this line, this is our second Prime, with the first being Megatronus. Lovely artwork on the box. I'm liking that. Very Cybertronian device. Sorry if you hear my son, Nathan's brother. He's on his VR and he likes to shout. And let's close that door. See if we can. We close the door, but when we close the door, the cat then starts getting annoyed and starts crying at us. So it's like, I think you put up with a cat more than you would do a young child shouting at people on VR. Anyway, back to the matter at hand. Here we have Prima, the first bearer of the Matrix, I believe. Looking pretty cool. 20 steps, 8+ years old. Thankfully, Nathan is old enough to have this figure. Again, lovely, what's it? Yeah, like the artwork. And there we have him with his sword in a very actiony, posy thing. And it seems like Nathan is right. We have this little mural going on. If we bring in Red Alert, he has the same artwork. However, Nathan, past us, have we got Solus there? Yep, she will be reviewed very, very shortly. You can see, yep, it carries on. What's quite interesting is that Prima is on there, so is Solus. Now, was Vector... I wonder if these are on here because these are Deluxes. Deluxes, Voyagers. Oh, let's get Megatronus. Megatronus might be leaders because he's on there. Ooh! Oh, other than the Star Optimus Prime. That sounded very, very camp then. Ooh! So possibly a leader class. Then there'd be a Voyager, which would be the other ones. Oh, that's quite there we go, guys. We might have a little bit of a... I mean, it's all over the place in terms of, like, where it is, but then, you know, sizes and that. My guess would be that Star Optimus Prime, being a Titan, will have the whole mural on his box.
This is... So, you can align them a bit more there.
Yeah, you could do. If you have like a... Oh, maybe we could 3D print a little thing there so you could have them... Or we just find this picture and print it into...
Oh, wait, why did it have to be ruined like that?
Yeah, so it kind of goes over. Fair enough. You can see that's going to be...
And you see that's going over as well.
Yeah, so unless they have like more deluxe... So we estimate it probably takes about 4 to get...
Because there's 13, because if you got 3 on each, it'd be 4.
Yeah, so you're looking at maybe they split it up into 4.
12.
Anyway, this is all much of a muchness. Going off on a tangent about box arts and stuff like that. Yeah, let's get him open. So here is Prima right out of the box. Nathan, what are your first impressions?
So I would say he's a lot like chunkier than looks in the box. Although not Megatronus chunky.
Yeah.
Or not like Nova Prime chunky type thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd say it's good. Like a good, mix between both.
I like the details. I like his chest. His chest obviously opens up.
For the Matrix leadership.
The head sculpt, pretty cool. You know, he almost looks quite young as well.
One thing that's weird is the head's silver and the body's white. It's a bit weird. I don't see silver anywhere else except here.
Yeah, there's not a lot of silver on it. So yeah, he's a silver, dark grey, and like very light grey as well, isn't it? Obviously, he comes with both the Star Saber, which can come apart like this, and the Matrix of Leadership, which Nathan pointed out is obviously silver rather than usual gold and silver. And obviously that, as he is...
Although we could say usual gold.
Yeah, gold and a little bit of silver, whereas this one...
Technically, because he's the first Prime, he's the first Matrix. Was it maybe first made gold or was it first made silver?
Yeah.
Technically it was first made silver.
And then it's lost its colour over time and...
I'd say gained colour over time.
Well, yeah, so...
Or it's changed to suit the people more.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't imagine a silver going with red Optimus Prime.
No. He's got quite a cool... I like the Star Saber. There he is from the back. You know, I know people might complain about whole legs and kibble and all that, but I think he's actually quite all right. I'm not actually transformed him back properly. No, I think that is right. We have made a mess around with him yesterday and showing him off on my friend's YouTube channel's Discord, where there's other Transformers fans on there. A big shout out for those if you're on the Odd Pod Discord. It's the #1 place for nostalgia. And yeah, he's pretty cool. I like him. He's a decent size figure, I think. So speaking of that, let's get on to size comparisons. So for our first size comparison, we have Commander Optimus Prime.
Mm-hmm.
What's your thoughts on this?
It feels okay, pretty okay. I don't know whether Prime is bigger or smaller than Optimus Prime.
Yeah, we've not seen them in scale, have we? But...
Although Optimus Prime is technically a commander.
Yeah, so he is a commander figure, roughly leaderish size. You know, he's kind of like in between that size, isn't he? He's not like a Jetfire, which is a commander. Other commanders like Armada Optimus Prime. Do you want to bring Armada Optimus Prime in?
I don't know where Jetfire is. Jetfire is right now.
Jetfire is just down there. So as you can see, in terms of actual commander size, but I think Optimus Prime, because this Optimus Prime scales well. So that's for that first comparison. For the next comparison, we have him Prima with Solus, who's obviously a deluxe, and Megatronus, who's obviously a leader. Yeah, I think he looks, you know, pretty big there. Like I said, we were saying before about the size profile. Then, you know, obviously Megatronus is much wider than Prima, but he's, you know, still scales pretty well. You know, obviously, you know, Megatronus is like the fall and the big one. It's whether Solus is in place there. I suppose when we've got a few more, it'll look quite good when they're all together. Yeah. I always thought all the primes were roughly the same size, but then again, my first thing of the primes was Revenge of the Fallen movie, where they all seem to be the same size. But I think in other continuities, they're different sizes. And just for one more comparison, let's take Solus out, because who is, you know, a deluxe, and bring in Vector Prime, who is also a Voyager, and I'd say here he's pretty much the same height. So there we go. We have 4 of the 13 primes already.
And I have also found Jetfire and where he was.
So just doing another comparison with Jetfire. Go on, Nathan, bring him in. Yeah, I might have to up this a little bit. There we go. Just about fits him in. If we collapse these wings here, he definitely feels it. He definitely fits in. So yeah, that is an idea with a commander. If you've got Jetfire, that's a rough idea of how he scales with Jetfire. Jetfire is a big boy.
About to the waist.
Yeah. So let's move on to Articulation. Okay, so moving on to Articulation, we have the usual head ball joint. His arms can go out. These look like these move quite easily out of the way, so we can go all the way up. Spins, does a 360. Mine do tend to come loose here, so these sections here, as part of the information, clip into the chest, but they do come a little bit loose, but it's not that big of a deal in this mode. We have full swivel. Of course, we also have swivel at the arm, bend at the elbow, and swivel at the wrist. Again, all standard, usual standard. Can kick out, can kick back, although it does sort of like move out a little bit because of the kibble at the back. No swivel at the thigh. Oh, well, you can at the top of the thigh, yeah, but there's no mid thigh swivel. Decent. That's a decent enough knee joint. And we've also noticed that some of them are starting to come with these hashtags. So I don't know if that's what that's to do with, but yeah. And we have a slight ankle rock, but no, and oh yeah, you can put his toes up. So yeah, pretty standard, but decent articulation. Of course, what we all come for is the transformation. So let's move on to that. Okay, so transforming this guy yesterday, he's not a complex transformation by any means, but he is a fiddly one. Yes, even the cat's agreeing. He's saying, yep, the cat's just come in to announce he's coming in. Right, so let's get transformation sorted. So first off, we come around here and we open up his wrists. And we fold them in. And then I think it's, let me double check which way. Yeah, and then so facing, so they're sort of facing, is it not facing inwards? This is the part where I'm a little bit confused now. I think it's, well, let's just do them for this for now. If we need to, we'll transfer it. So fold his arms in again. And have him like that for now. Okay, now we pull back this section away from the arms. Let's just move the arms up a bit so you can see what's going on here. Pull these wheels all the way around. We can also put the head down. And then we swivel this here. Now this is where I struggled a bit yesterday. So what you should be doing is maneuvering this so these sections are interlocked like this, because this part eventually is going to come down and it's going to tab in there, but we don't do that just yet. Right, now this is where, so now we maneuver it so that this notch here goes into this section. That is, and this is where it gets a bit fiddly. And it doesn't feel like it fully goes in. Like it feels like it on this version, on this side of the figure, it feels like it just sort of wants to miss it. So I don't know if I've done this part right. I'm sure that should fit in there a bit more. Let me just, I know it does fold up like this. And you sort of maneuver it. This is where I had trouble yesterday with this figure, was getting these in. That one's going a bit, see that one's gone in as it should do. And it's maneuvered in. And it's just about getting the angle right with this same one. You can sort of see there, it's just, it's almost like it's going, another way of actually doing this as well, I've noticed, is that these tabs here are going to fit in. I think that's another way I did it yesterday, was where I sort of maneuvered it so that the tabs aligned a bit, but it's still, it feels like this side's lower than it should be. And that's because it is. Sorry, this is, like I said, this is where I had trouble with this yesterday. And as much as I want this to go smooth, I'm also showing you how fiddly it can be. So like I said, it's, as you can already see it there, he's not quite, he's a bit lopsided, and I don't get how that's happened, because they're both roughly the same in the same way. But then this, one sec guys. Okay, I figured out where I was going wrong. I was putting these two close together. So what you want to sort of do, you will see right here, there's a tiny notch. Now you think that means that it's going to rest on there, but it doesn't. It's where this tab here is going to click in behind. And you do, if you do it on both sides, it then should be easier to align these parts. See, that's going in much smoother now. So that's the trick. So those tabs going behind those notches, and as long as you've got them in, that should help it guide in the rest of the way. Now this side is still, Now there we go. Still looks a little lopsided to me. This side still looks lower, or doesn't look quite right. And you can see that it's not, because the wheel is definitely right. Let me just make sure it's definitely sort of like, it is in that little notch, the same as the other side, but it just doesn't. I think this arm, I don't know, it's really hard to explain. See there, it's gone opposite. Oh, that's because it's come out of the. So you sort of need to make sure this part sort of stays level. When trying to get this part in, it sort of seems to sometimes. So I would, yeah, so we keep your thumb on there to keep that in the correct way. This side still doesn't, there we go. See there, it's done it again. Because again, this is what I mean by fiddly. He's really, really fiddly. Because you get one section in, and it just seems to pop out at another. And you know what you need to do. It's just getting him to actually do it. Okay, so let's try this one more time. So it's just manoeuvring this arm. He's still in there. There we go. Okay. See how now he looks much better than he did before. So now we have these tabs here, which we just, and he's just come a little bit out there on the other side. He's come out on the other side now. There we go. Right, okay. Now on for the easier part, which is the back of the leg. So first off, just turn these guys around, just fold them out. Easy enough, he says, and then struggles to do it. You can also like extend them a little bit as well, because you're going to need to do that for the transformation. Obviously fold the feet down. And now we're doing the old, you know, if you fold them all the way as if he was like sitting down, clip them together. Let's make sure they line up properly. Yeah. And then it is a case of getting them to go under, and then you can up them again. Anything that's popped out, the wheels then click there and click there. And there we have your Cybertronian moon buggy. Oh no, something's gone wrong, because he is, I don't think he's meant to be like that. What have I done wrong here? Well, he does roll. Just why, I don't know why his bottom wheels are not touching the floor. They did yesterday, I'm sure they did.
Are you sure they did yesterday?
No, I've just not made him flat enough. Oh. Like I said, it's not that he's a hard transformation as such. It's just fiddly. Right. I am just going to phone it in and say that is done. He rolls.
He works.
Although, yeah, again, this side is just now. Ugh, he's so fiddly. That's why I'm glad he's a good in robot form. Let's also bring in his sword.
I think they look equal. I might actually transform like every single day because he looks equal.
Right, moving on. Okay, so just a little update. After doing a little bit of messing around, it was mostly this section here. I found these parts seem to tab into this bottom section, but sometimes they go into the top one, and that led it to arch. These wheels, yeah, I think other people have said as well in other reviews, they bow a little bit, and they're meant to just clip in and be straight, but they don't. Yeah, so you can see it's just this one just isn't there. We go. If you press down a little bit, it does touch the floor. that side a lot easier. But yeah, so that is his Tesla Cybertruck mode. What do you think of it, Nathan?
So, good product from Tesla here. I'd say it's a very small Tesla product, you know.
Okay, being serious, so I'd say it's more like a moon buggy, isn't it? Some sort of like, it's something like some sort of like orbital,
military jeep or something.
or orbital buggy. In terms of weapons, oh sugar, you can plug his sword in there, so it's like almost like a jousting thing, isn't it? Like a charging weapon.
A little ram, so you can just have your little old time.
Take his ankles out. You can also take the sword and store it in here. I take it goes. Oh, this part here will store in a tab just in there, so you can have it almost like a fin. I think that looks better.
A fish fin. A fish truck.
And then you could maybe stick this on here as like just an extra additional thing. I think that is a better storage than on the front.
Fish truck in the ocean.
Yeah, it is almost like a fish truck. Okay, let's move on to a comparison. Okay, just a quick one. We've got a Rise of the Beast Optimus Prime, of course, Prima himself, and we've got Solus Prime, whose review will be coming up sometime later on in the week. And yeah, he's pretty decent size. He's definitely chunkier and bigger than Solus. Obviously a bit shorter, and just a tiny bit. Yeah, not much shorter than an Optimus Prime. You can just sort of see the back of Prime. Oh, it really does just sort of come out very, very tiny little bit. So that's not too bad. I think that's a decent size. Yeah, I think that is a pretty cool, decent size. It seems to scale. Solus is a bit mistransformed, I think, and she has the same issue. But I've seen many people have the same issues with Solus as they have with Prima. Oh, Nathan, quickly get Red Alert. Yeah, we also have this. He's already transformed. We've been messing around with him. As a comparison, another Voyager. Again, pretty decent, that I think. So overall, Nathan, what do you think of him?
I would say it's actually pretty cool.
Would you prefer him in bot mode or in moon buggy mode?
I'd say probably this back. I don't know.
I think we'd probably display them all in their bot modes.
Yeah.
We tend to have. I'll quickly show you here Nathan's
I can do.
collection. They're just ones that he likes messing around with every so often, or newish ones. And then he's got a little bit of display there. And then these two boxes here are full of Transformers, and we also have all the bits for them down here. So as you can see, he tends to just have them in bot mode more than anything. I think you can fit more on this section here. And of course he has his Titans. So I think he looks better in bot mode. I think, to be fair, I think 99% of Transformers look better in bot mode, but the alt modes are nice. You know, it's something different to have if you want to change up. Actually, yeah, I'll give Grimlock his due. He's probably better off as a dinosaur. That's why I said 99% of them. Like the Dinobots usually look better in dinosaur. Anyway.
Except Swoop.
Oh, okay. Right, well.
Because Swoop is like...
Okay. Chunky boy. Right, okay.
Yeah, he's just like
this is a review of Prima.
No, it's a review of Swoop.
Is he going to swoop in?
Swoop is swooping in! And he's getting the centre of attention.
And now the cat wants to leave because he's heard our bad jokes. Right, anyway. Right, take Swoop away. So overall, pretty good figure. Decent figure. I think he's much better in bot mode. As you'll see with the Solus, this idea of things tabbing in. Again, he's not a hard Transformer to transform. He's just fiddly. But I like the fact that he is, even though he's a vehicle, he doesn't look like a normal Earth mode. You know, you can tell he's Cybertronian, and the cat has returned because we've stopped telling bad jokes. And that is it for our review. So please like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you on the next review. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye.